What's going on, my beautiful people? It's your boy Meditator Monkey 3 here, and someone requested to see my build as a video, so I'm just gonna be walking through a little bit about my build, and it's not yet completed, but I can show you how I'm able to push out over 240 some thousand damage in the span of 60 seconds. Of course, that's on a training dummy, which has different defensive stats based on like the bosses. But on bosses, I'm doing a fair bit amount of damage where I'm consistently getting a purple precious crystal to drop. If not a purple precious crystal, I'm getting 2 to 3 blues to drop every single time. But first, let me show you my skills. So I usually run without my crystal unless it's like a mid boss or elite boss. But my skills, open the wrong window. So the skills that I run with are Judgment Lightning is my first skill. Um, Serial Fire Bombs, I have that maxed out. I use Inferno Wave, or I might use Touch of Despair. It'll depend on the situation, depending on how I feel. If I want to go more damage over time, or if I just want to go with just pure like big damage. Um, Also use Ice Bear Bombardment. I changed it to the Ice Bear Bombardment as a single fire. Even though the single fire does do more damage, technically does do more damage. Technically it doesn't do more damage because the amount of ice spears I shoot off is like 300 to 400 to 500, 300, somewhere between 300 to 500 damage. But then if I get a heavy attack proc, it's double that of course per spear. I'll run high focus, single target, not the multi target where you target all teammates. I have this almost maxed out. Also run inner peace as well as hellfire rain. For my healing skills, obviously Clee's salvation. Must have is fountain of life, and then for single target for teammates and myself, I use swift healing. And as if you noticed, if you're like noticing, all of my skills have a reduced cooldown. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. I don't run this skill even though I know I can turn it into a burning skill. It's just that the burn damage, I get so much burn damage or burn stacks from my fireball, plus my Inferno Wave and my Meteor that I don't necessarily need to have that skill. I also run Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning, if you don't know, Chain Lightning will always transfer damage over to another enemy. You don't need the damage transfer on specialization. My skill specializations for my Searing Fireball mobility, radius increased for multiple enemies, projectile speed, remove casting time. Those are must have. Inferno Wave, I use consecutive use, burning stacks, cooldown. For chain lightning, I use damage transfer, damage so the damage won't be mitigated upon transferring. But for what you need to know is for chain lightning, no matter if you don't have the damage transfer thing specialization on, it will always transfer to another enemy. It will always transfer to another enemy. All right, you don't need that damage transfer on this skill. Fireball barrage, I use fireball frenzy, but based on so the reason why this is so important is because you can have a max of 10 stacks of fire damage on an opponent, and for each stack of fire damage, you shoot off an additional fireball. So initially, the skill without this specialization shoots off 10 fireballs, but with the 10 stacks of burning damage, you're shooting off 20 fireballs. So you're basically getting double the damage you would normally do if you didn't have any fire proc. Obviously, I run cooldown on it. For PvP wise, I'll probably run this, increase the mana by 100 per fireball. Inner Peace, I run immune to CCs. Ice Bear Bombardment, I also run Ice Bear Bombardment with the damage increase as well. Judgment Lightning, I use damage transfers. What you want to do is when you're PVE wise, you want to fire off Ice Bear Bombardment because it's 21.1 seconds, and then once you hit them under that frost effect, you immediately pop your Judgment Lightning. It would then transfer the damage over because you have frost on. But if you're in like an area where there's water around, it would transfer water as well. But frost and wet conditions will transfer the damage from any lightning skills except chain lightning. Chain lightning always transfers. So I shoot off my ice bear bombardment first, and then I immediately go into my judgment lightning since it has the exact same cooldown. Hellfire rain. I start off with this, especially if the enemy I'm fighting is AFK or is just standing still. Hellfire rain. First skill I shoot off. Boom. I obviously run cooldown on this. I don't run incoming recovery effect down because that's more of a PvP skill. That's more of like large scale PvP. For my wand, I run Swift Healing. I run the Healing Transfer. So that way, so basically, if I heal myself, if I heal my teammate for 2,000, I would get 50% of that back to myself. So if I heal him for 2,000, I'll get 1,000 HP back on myself. And since I can proc it 2 times, if I hit for 2,000 2 times, that's 4,000. I'll essentially get 2,000 health back to myself. Clay Salvation, obviously, I run this. I run the radius increase. That's a must-have if you're going to be a hybrid healer or a healer of any kind. You will get judged if you cannot heal your team. I run removes one weekend because I had the extra points and I figured why not. But weekend effects include things like burning, poison, um, movement speed deductions, confinement. These are considered weakens. So confinement will be like with the daggers, you have the chain skill. Once you get chained, and if you happen to pop Clay Salvation during that time frame, you can actually get out of that. It also removes things like stun as well, stun and shock, since that's considered a weaken, I guess. Um, Fountain of Life, I run mana recovery and radius increase. You can take off um, mana recovery and put on duration increase, but I find that my healing, I'm putting out so much healing. Not only with so once I pop Fountain of Life, I obviously just switch between my teammates to see who I can hit with the swift healing. 9 times out of 10, my Fountain of Life is going to be targeted with my tank, and I'm going to be locked into my tank already, so I'll go ahead and heal them up, max heals. I don't necessarily need the extra duration. Alright, so that's my skills, as you can see. My passive skills, Mana Ball Eruption for the extra orb shoot off. I found how to fucking say this name, but you probably know if you know it. But I run this skill, so if it stands still for 3 seconds, I get a heavy attack chance increased by 100, and it remains in effect for 2 seconds after moving. Increase max mana and increase max health, must-have skill. Increase burning damage, this is a must-have skill as well for your damage over time. Increase skill damage by 140, but decreases all mana cost efficiency. Now this is not a must-have skill, especially if you don't have the any mana cost efficiency gear. This is not a must-have skill. This will greatly deplete your mana. I'm into my greatly deplete your mana. So if you want to counteract that, what you can do is you can just activate Inner Peace and then immediately close out of Inner Peace, because you get an 84% mana cost efficiency. Basically every skill you activate while the 7 seconds of of Inner Peace is going on, it will use way less mana. Like I'm talking about way less mana. And then not only that, since you have so much mana cost efficiency, when you're popping skills, let's say your full rotation of skills uses up 3,000 mana with that 84%, you'll probably use like 1,600. As if you can get your full range of skills off within that time frame. As far as my passive skills for my healing goes, I run Devotion and Emptiness for the extra 30% skill heal increase, plus skill damage over time boost. So any like curse skills, 30% damage boost over time. I also run Selfless Soul, grant healing and health recovery and regen allies via active skills. So essentially, when I set my mana pool, per every single stack will it then increase the amount of heals that person gets. And with that, I also get an increased amount of mana regen. So with that increased mana regen, I pop my Inner Peace. But it not only affects me, it affects my teammates as well. So they also get that increased mana regen and mana and health regen. And again, I don't have to be within my my pool of. I don't have to be within this in order to get that stack. As long as a teammate is getting that stack, I will get that stack as well, which is pretty great. Another passive skill you want to run is a must-have right here is Noble Revival. So skill heals increased by 2.57% for me per 1,000 max mana. I have 10,000 mana, so that's additional 25% skill heal I'm pushing out. So I'm literally, again, as you can see, that's 2,500 right there, 2,500, and then that 700 you saw additional, that goes to me. So the additional, so the one that has the plus next to it is the one that goes to my teammates. The one that doesn't have the plus is the one that goes to me. Alright, so I'm gonna do it again. The plus goes to me, and then the larger number goes to my teammates. The smaller number goes back to me. All right. But again, if I'm not targeting a teammate, I'm targeting myself. All those heals come to me, like all of it, even the 50% increase. Like it all comes back to me. So literally 2 pops of this, and I'm back to full health. And as you can see, I'm getting some times 2 in there as well. It's again because I'm standing still for 3 seconds. I get that. That heavy attack increase. Boom, boom. All right. So now I go to my gear. My gear's not yet complete, but we're gonna just show you what I got so far. I have the Tobax Shattering Quarterstaff. This is a must-have staff if you're going to be running an Invocator build. It's because you get that magic and a range critical hit chance up by 20 per 1 meter of distance. You can have a max of 17.6 meters of distance. But with the wand, it's a little bit different. You have a max of 14 meters. So I'm still getting roughly 280 crit hit chance just from being 14 meters away. I don't look at the bow. Don't worry about the bow. For right now, I run the Divine Justice mask. I am going to eventually switch to the Shadow Harvester mask, just because I want that set effect from it. I run the Heroic Garb of Resistance as of right now. I'm going to eventually change this out, probably to a wisdom-based armor. I also run Shadow Harvester grips. This again, I want that set effect that you get from having the mask. The mask gives you cooldown speed, wisdom, and dexterity. I obviously have the gloves for that attack range increase, plus that dexterity, plus the crit hit chance. And then I want that set effect. If you have 2 of them, 2 from the set, you get a 14% crit damage increase. I have zero crit damage right now, so that 14% is a must-have for me. I run the Ebon Roar Greaves. I eventually probably gonna get rid of these, though. I love to have melee evasion, and I do love to have dexterity. I don't necessarily need the dexterity on this. If I can go with perception or perhaps even wisdom, be even better off. I run the Ebon Roar Shoes. These Ebons don't have no set effect. That's why I really want to get rid of them. Supreme Devotion Cloak. This is a must-have cloak if you're going to be a staff user of any kind. Alright, must-have cloak. Just because you got that cooldown speed, you got the mana regen, and you got the crit hit chance. So now onto my accessories. You have the Belt of Endless Slaughter. This is the only belt I can think of at the time. I got it out of the co-op dungeon. I figured, hell, why not just put it on? Because I had a blue belt on at the time. I would just put it on. But this is not a must-have belt, so don't look to have this belt. A must-have necklace you need to have is either the Blessed Templar Choker, or there's another one that gives you mana regen plus wisdom, or wisdom plus 2 base stats. Either one of these 2 works. All right. But the Blessed Templar Choker is probably the best option you're going to get if you're going to be running that passive skill that decreases your mana cost efficiency by 15%. You're going to want to have this, all right? Just because you have that cooldown speed, you have the mana cost efficiency, and the mana regen. For the bracelet I run the Ancient Sordoma bracelets for the dexterity, mana regen, and range evasion. Range evasion is not really a must go to if you're a healer. You want to go more so melee evasion, because there's a lot of great sword dagger users out there that will kill you first or target you first. For my ring, I have the Abyssal Grace brand. Again, for that mana cost efficiency, I really need that, and then added attack speed. Attack speed is really important with the staff and wand, because not only does it affect the speed of your fireballs, but it also affects the speed of your meteors, the speed of your lightning, the speed of your fire. Basically any skill you shoot off, it affects the speed of that. Then I run the Sapphire Diamond Band. Sapphire Dimensional Band. Just this piece alone, I don't need that second piece because it doesn't fit with my build, which is dexterity and strength. It doesn't fit my build, plus movement speed, it doesn't fit my build. So again, I needed that wisdom, perception, and attack range increase. That's pretty much all my accessories. Now let me show you my full-blown stats. So my stats: base damage 146 to 315, attack speed 0.609, range right now is 19.16. But if you can see on the Tobax staff, the base range on it is 17.6. So I'm getting an additional almost 2 meters of range, right? So again, with that extra range, and that also applies to my wand as well. Let me show you. That also applies to my wand as well. My wand I have 15.24, which originally was 14 meters. So again, I pop my skills out further distances for my teammates. My health is 7,600. My mana is 10,500. Stamina is 100. Mana cost efficiency is negative 0.21. Once I get that ring up a few more levels, and work on that, work on my necklace a few more levels, my mana cost efficiency would then be in the positive. That's what I really want. I wanted to have at least a positive mana cost efficiency. My cooldown speed is 36%. Sorry about that. It's not 36%. Let me switch back to my staff. My staff, my main hand. My cooldown speed is 42%. 29% comes from my equipment. Obviously, my staff. It's my main hand. Uh, Base comes from your stats from my wisdom, and the enchantments come from whatever the fuck enchantments come from. Stamina regen, mana regen, health regen, attack speed 5.9%. Inventory healing 200% healings. My healings that I push out 27.02%. Movement speed 600. As far as my melee evasion go 518. And I'll just scroll through this so you can kind of see. Buff duration 23.5% is really important for your heals. If you're going to be more of a healer, shielder kind of guy, this is very important as well. Alright, so now, music is kind of loud. Let's tune it down some. Music. Man, who whistling so damn loud? Anyways, let me say one more thing I forgot to show you. My mastery for my staff. I ran all destroy for my staff because I need, again, cooldown speed. I need that cooldown speed for or if you're running staff, you need that cooldown speed, okay? That base bonus damage, additional cooldown speed. So I'm getting 8% mastery cooldown speed for my staff. Mana regen, muscle get magic, critical hit chance up, as well as increased skill boost chance by 40. I thought about running mana, but again, once I got that necklace, I saw that necklace that I needed. Mana cost efficiency no longer became a big issue for me. And then I also thought about attribute for that fire damage. What is it? That burning chance? No, right here, burning damage up. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to go next 3 points. I'm going to go down to attribute. I'm probably going to just stick with attribute. Because mana cost efficiency, I'm almost in the positive, so I'll probably just my next 6 points will go straight into attribute, and I'll take it all the way up to burning chance. But again, that's up for debate right now. I don't know if I want to go flame with the burning damage and then just get some mana cost efficiency. Just a little extra mana cost efficiency doesn't hurt. For my wand, I went 6 points into recovery and 3 points into damage, curse damage. Though I'm not using curse right now, I often switch between curse and my infernal wave skill. Just because I be bored sometimes. I want to do something else. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. I also thought about just grabbing wisdom and perhaps greedy need for the cooldown speed. But again, like my cooldown speed with my wand is 36%. Once I pop high focus, I'm now at fuck, I don't even, what's that, 88%. And then with my staff, I'm at 41%. So that's what, 93%. Cooldown speed. I pop this first. Even if I pop high focus, let me give you an example. So even when I pop high focus, you would think my cooldown would be like fast as shit, right? It's still 27 seconds for the meteor. 20 seconds here. A couple seconds here. 24 seconds here. Without that, that meteor skill is no longer 26 seconds. It's like 30, I want to say 30, 36 or something like that. 36. But then obviously the guardian I'm running is another cooldown speed guardian, and with also an additional shield that's worth 50% of my max mana. So basically, I get a shield that's worth 27. I'm tripping. It's worth 5,000, 5,250. It can absorb 5,250 damage, basically. And then I get the additional cooldown speed. But once the shield breaks with this Guardian, you lose the Guardian. So even if the Guardian says 30 seconds when it's activated, once the shield breaks, the Guardian automatically breaks. Now watch when I activate high focus now. Right? 20 seconds now. 16 seconds now. So it's like I ain't gonna lie to you, it's a pretty OP build. Once I get that Shadow Harvester piece, as well as I'm also going for another Ascension. So the Ascension set essentially, no pun intended, once you have 2 pieces on, you get an additional 7.5% cooldown speed. With the Shadow Harvester set, once you have 2 pieces on, you get a 14% crit damage. So this is my build. This is your boy Madison. Hit like, comment, subscribe. Want more videos? Peace.